Hey guys, my name's Ashley Henricks, and this is my iConnect presentation. So I'm going to take us back to the beginning of the quarter where we talked about the Goncourt journals, which to me, they are pretty much the epitome of decadence, so I found it hard not to choose them when I was going to do this. I knew pretty much right on this, these were the guys I wanted to talk about. I mean, their whole journals just offer an intimate view of literary French society of that time. Their whole lives, just the physical illness and the decline, it's just all decadent. There's few people that I could think of who not just wrote it, but actually lived it. I mean, my first thing I thought of was Dorian Gray, because that's what we've been reading. But, I mean, these guys actually lived decadently. Although some of their journals might say that they're slightly antisocial, but then they kind of contradict themselves. For example, the first entry in 1870, today, the first day of the year, no calls, none of our friends, nobody, solitude and suffering. To me, that's saying maybe they are sad that they're not getting any calls or attention from anybody, but yet the following journal entry says, dizziness, uneasy, a sort of terror, such is the effect that crowds have today on my poor nervous system. It almost sounds like they have some social anxiety or phobia, possibly, of being that, which, you know, isn't quite like burning always with a hard gem-like flame, like Peter said. So, but in a sense, it kind of did, because he got to the point where he got syphilis, so he was doing something. Just like this one, they're kind of making fun of their friend in a way. How strange and particular nervous diseases are. Vaccorbal, the composer, has a horror of velvet, and suffers absolute agony whenever is invited somewhere for the first time, wondering whether the dining room chairs are covered in velvet. So, I mean, they're starting to talk really lighthearted, and I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to get to where it starts getting a little more serious. We have here, after they find out that one of the brothers has syphilis, he says, for some time now, it grows more noticeable every day. They have been certain letters that he pronounces badly, R's that he elates, and C's that become R's or T's in his mouth. I remember when he was a little boy how sweet and charming it was to hear him scrambling over two consonants, to hear that same childish pronunciation today, to hear his voice as I used to hear in the distant and forbidden future, or forbidden past, where my memories encounter nothing but things long dead, frightens me. In this, it's like his life is the epitome of decadence as he declines and degenerates into a child. He's no longer himself. He's becoming less and less every day as this disease takes over him. We started off with the journals with them joking about their friend having a horror of velvet. He didn't want to go somewhere because there was velvet on the chairs, and here we are talking about him not being able to even speak and how he's degenerating back to his childlike self. So in a way, it's like we're reading these and we're listening to this guy talking about his brother losing his humanity, in a sense, his ability to be human. Sorry, these things are long and I have so many notes. In my happiness, I have acquired an indifference to the unhappiness of others which I have possessed, but I have never possessed before. I answer a beggar now within, I haven't any change, whose heartlessness astonishes me. He's losing his compassion. He's disheartened in the world. His brother's dying. He doesn't seem to care about anything else. So it's just this painful experience that they're going through. They live these decadent lives, and they're burning. Their flame is burning out. Especially when they're talking about the part where they go out to dinner and his brother can't quite hold the fork properly, and he's annoyed with him, and his brother can see that, and he instantly bursts out into tears, and he says, "It's not my fault, it's not my fault," and his tense, trembling hand sought mine on the tablecloth. "It's not my fault," he went on. "I know how it upsets you, but I often want to, and I can't," and his hand squeezed mine with a pitiful "forgive me." So it's the most heartbreaking part in the journals for me, because this guy is still human, and he's still there. He's fully functional in his brain, but his body is what's declining. It's ceasing, it's going against him. And I mean, just when you keep going to where he's near death, I mean, it just keeps getting worse. We're going to go a little forward to where he wants to die. The more I gaze at him, the more I study his features, the more I discover in his face a look of moral suffering, such as I have never seen lingering on any face in death. The more struck I am by his heart rending sadness. It seems to me that I can discern it, and beyond the frontiers of life, regard for his interpreted work, regret for life, regret for life, regret for me. He's just sad that his brother's leaving. They did everything together. If you look them up, they spent pretty much every day together in their entire lives. They did all their work together, and most of the stuff is really witty, social document about life. And I mean, this is also about life, their personal life, and we just watch Edmund and Jules just go through this. And so, okay, I have to wrap this up. Anyways, so if you guys want to talk about this more, we can. Sorry, this took too long.